Welcome.
Earth along with me.
Oh, gnarly!
Oh my god, I shot my eye out.
Please go to 11.
Reading Starfighter.
Hasta la vista, baby.
14.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 40 Going on 14. I am Mike.
I am Patrick.
I'm Joel.
And I'm Josh, and this week we're talking about Rescue Rangers and its brand new movie, which asks the question, hey, remember the existential dread you felt as a kid watching Roger Rabbit when the cartoon got dipped? Well, you're going to relive that for a half hour as part of the major plot of this movie.
Yay!
You know what people would like if we did it again? Terrified them.
Yay!
I did like it, but just saying, it's like, oh, it's just this shit is dark.
It did get a little weird at a couple times, but
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll
yeah.
get there.
Oh, I got thoughts. We got thoughts.
Joel always has thoughts.
No, I don't actually.
Usually, mostly of the time, it's just a Meow Mix cat singing.
Meow meow
Fun.
meow 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 meow. Fuck you.
So, this week we are doing the 1990's Disney afternoon special of Rescue Rangers up against the 2022 remake, reboot, retelling,
Continuation by This Lonely
Continuation.
Island.
Yeah. So if you'd like to get in touch with us and give us a show idea that you'd like to hear, you can give us a call at 708-NOW-RAP, 708-669-9727. You can also join our Discord conversation by clicking the Join Us link in the show notes. We'd love to hear from you. We have all sorts of chats and conversations. Lots of talk about food.
Lots of talk
Yeah.
about food.
But got a whole section just for show ideas. So come
and
on over.
drinks. Yeah, you
And
guys were
drinks.
talking a lot about IPAs or hoppies or something, stouties. I don't know. Some beer thing.
Yeah, we talk about beer often. But we don't have any feedback this week, so we're going to the question of the week, which is...
Did you say hoppies and starties?
Huh?
Yeah,
He
it's
said-
like
Hoppies and stouties, and I chose
stouties.
Yeah. Chose
Okay,
to
that's
just clench my jaw in rage rather than refer to it.
You guys actually were talking about Ghost.
Ghost.
The Ghostbusters. Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to think of, and I couldn't think of it, so I just tried to go down a different road.
Hmm.
The ghost, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yes, question of the week.
I am sorry, I had no idea where to go for a moment there. I was thinking about the Gozer beer for a moment, which there probably is one out there. But the question of the week, a Gozer beer?
Yeah,
post it in
we
the
were
chat.
actually talking about that in beer chat. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Okay. But what is the worst movie trope, according to you?
Pretty much anything regarding guns.
How so, Patrick?
Just guns in Hollywood are just horrible. Like, first of all, everybody's always shooting guns in enclosed spaces with no protective earwear, which means everybody should be walking around with tinnitus. Everybody
Yeah,
can,
the only
the
thing
action
that
hero
does it
can-
right is Archer.
yeah. The action hero can always be shot and just be like, okay, I'm just fine. Let's continue the movie. It was just a flesh wound, which is always ridiculous. Just, the number of bullets fired in any one gun, like unlimited supply of ammunition, so many things. Like, even though it's one of my favorite movies, in the movie Predator, the amount of ammunition they would have needed, for that entire movie would have been like it's literally a semi-truck full of ammunition.
Well,
And they're
for
just
the
not-
shooting into the jungle scene alone.
Yeah, and they're just not carrying that much, that much. What do they call it? Oh, damn it! I've lost the military term, but yeah, they're not
Gear.
carrying that much. Yeah, no, but there's that specific term
Rounds?
for ammo. Anyway, yeah, they're ordnance. They're not carrying that.
Artillery.
Yeah, they're not carrying that kind of ordnance.
You didn't see a guy driving around behind him with a forklift and a whole pallet of bullets.
They just got one Mexican bar back. He's carrying it all on his back for him. Like, after some of the guys I've worked with, I would believe it. Those fuckers carrying like 7 kegs on their back. Like, ah!
The actual name of the trope you're referring to, according to TV tropes, is dramatic ammo depletion.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, basically you've got unlimited bullets until the moment comes to, like, you're facing off against the big bad, and then your gun goes click.
Right. Or you're down to one bullet when there's like 3 bad guys left. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything related to guns, all those tropes. Yeah, bullet curving, just all that stupid. You know, guns are nothing like what they're treated as in Hollywood.
Silencers that just go thwip.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, I have one, but it's kind of it almost crosses over more into the TV territory, which is the will they won't they trope. It just
that's definitely TVs. Yeah.
They milk that so hard, and then they tried to force it, with Rachel and Joey, and then it became a thing with like every sitcom or show. It had to be a thing, and I really am happy that 30 Rock, they played with that trope and made the audience go, "Oh, are Jack Donaghy and Liz Lemon gonna have a will they won't they?" And then they quickly were like, "No, you dumbass, we're not going down that road."
Yeah, every time they almost had the kiss.
And they're like, ugh, Yeah, I that one just I like watching a show where sometimes it happens naturally in the writing, but a lot of times it feels like that was the plan from the beginning, is we're going to try and make another Ross and Rachel,
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sam and Diane, I think, was the original Will They Won't They.
Good point. Yeah, even better example. Yep.
I don't know. For me, I think it's in the movies is the incredible problem that could have been solved by a 5-minute conversation.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a great moment in not to do it, but like in The Office, where he's like talking to one of the guys is talking about, oh, what was that movie where they did blah blah blah, and the other guy just goes, well, how about that movie where their boss was in the next room and they could have just gone in and talked to him. So yeah, that is a definite bad Hollywood trope.
Yep.
Sorry, I just didn't mean to step on that, Mike, but that's
no. I'm trying to think of a movie that could have totally. The last movie I saw where I just went like, they could.
Why don't they just talk this out?
Yeah, I mean, even going down to like kids movies, Frozen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just why didn't they tell the younger daughter about these powers? Seemed like something she should have known.
Right.
Yeah.
What is it gonna? The Bourne Identity. Just sit him down and talk to him.
Mine is not going to be a surprise to anyone because I constantly bitch about it. Even though it originated in comic books, it is present in all forms of media. It is refrigerators for women. Comes down to basically it started, I think, in The Flash, where his girlfriend was literally like chopped up and put in a fridge. And it basically is like whenever a female character is horrifically murdered for the sole purpose of character development for one of the dudes.
Huh.
Yeah, fridging women. Once you know of the trope where, a woman is either murdered, usually it's murdered, but sometimes it's raped, and the only purpose is for the guy to like, okay, now I'm going to power up and get revenge. It's for his character development, and she's just a prop, a vehicle. You'll see it a lot.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's actually one of the things that made me stop watching Supernatural, because it happens to almost every female character that runs into the brothers.
I was going to say, cite Game of Thrones doing that to Sansa.
Oh, for sure.
Just to make the bad guy more bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually used as a way to make the hero sympathetic and like, okay, now he's going to get his revenge.
Right. Now it's okay that he does whatever he needs to do.
Braveheart. Braveheart does it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, again, I mean, in that same genre of Rob Roy.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Boys, that Sean Penn movie I recommended the other day.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a nice cut.
Yeah.
John Wick, except it's a dog.
Yeah.
It's a dog.
Man.
What?
Dog in fridge, yeah.
Well, yeah, but like you're not expecting character development for a dog.
No.
It's just
no.
What?
so
What?
You obviously have not seen Dogs Don't Dance. Or Cats Don't Dance.
All dogs go to heaven.
All dogs go to heaven. That had that. Speaking of terrifying cartoons, that hell scene in that movie was.
Oh, yeah, that was slightly
All dogs
traumatizing.
go to hell. That was worse. What?
All right, about that time.
Yeah, I think it's about that.
This week in music, movies, and TV.
In sports.
All right. We're going with March 4th, 1989, the premiere of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Chip and Dale, the Rescue Rangers. All right. Oh, there you go.
You got a little tambourine backup.
I like it. Thanks, Lucy. So music, the number one song in the land was Lost in Your Eyes by Debbie Gibson.
Yep.
You guys know that song?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a Debbie Gibson song.
Yep.
That is a song she sang.
That is a song.
I have nothing else to say about that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just, I mean, it was a very just nothing song. I mean,
Yeah. It was on that Debbie
It was a
Gibson
pop-
album.
it was a pop ballad sung by the girl next door.
Yep.
Wow.
I wish she lived next door. She's glad she doesn't, I'll tell you.
Right? She made sure of it. All right, moving on. So, Madonna released the Like a Prayer video on March 3rd during an airing of The Cosby Show, and it proved to be one of the most controversial music videos of all time. The video ends with Madonna making out with a saint on an altar, and that sparked outrage. However, this did not stop Like a Prayer from reaching number one on the Billboard Hot 100. Pepsi had paid $5 million to Madonna to use her and the song in a TV advertisement. Yeah, not just any song, this song. And once the video aired, PepsiCo received numerous complaints from those who believed that Like a Prayer video was part of Madonna's Pepsi ad. The American Family Association called for a PepsiCo boycott, and in the end, PepsiCo paid quite a bit of money for an ad they had to pull. You think they'd check those sorts of things before they,
No, they signed like the contract with her. They're like, hey, I got an upcoming song. It's going to be big, blah, blah, blah. Well, we want to use it in our commercial. Okay, well, it'll cost you $5 million. Okay, and then she debuts the song, and they debut the commercial in the same night. They air it for like a week, and they're like, to get too much heat. And they're like, well, I guess we're done airing this.
What does this have to do with Pepsi?
Because, yeah, I mean,
made me thirsty.
Yeah, the ad and the video, totally separate. But people heard the song in the ad and were just didn't want to disassociate it. So.
This sacrilege is making me thirsty.
I don't remember I remember the video because we talked about the video in one of our.
There was a cross
top 10.
burning.
Yeah, there were several.
She was making out with Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Madonna, but I mean, I don't remember the commercial.
That's
what I
because
said.
It
It
wasn't
only
on very long.
Yeah, it only aired for about a week. Yeah.
I know, but I think I would have run into it over the years. I'm sure it's archived somewhere on YouTube.
It's got to be. Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Somebody somewhere has, is a huge Madonna fan and has saved it for posterity. And jerkin.
Step 4.
I also learned that song is perfectly in my range. I've done Like a Prayer karaoke, which I may have mentioned on the show before.
Do you make out with Jesus too?
Oh, maybe. I mean, it's a lot of booze when I have karaoke.
It was actually Jesus, just a guy sitting in the corner. But
he's carrying all the ordinances for the group.
Leave our bar back alone. We need ice. This is not my job.
Oh, Jesus the barback. I hope he's going to be a new character.
Hey, he feels like home.
Every time Josh goes up to karaoke after that point, he hears the music and he's just like, I'm out of here. This never goes to a good place.
I hate when he sings this song. Moving on.
To finish.
I'm sorry. I got the whole. I have the whole sitcom episode going in my head right.
The Josh and Jesus show.
Cut to the end of the
Music.
episode.
Music kicks on. Madre Dios.
Went to the party and I popped it down the head off. Burn, get it for the phone and the sound of the head off. And finally, Lloyd Tiny Grimes was an American jazz and R&B guitarist and a member of the Art Tatum Trio. He was a backing musician on recording sessions, most notably Billie Holiday, and later led his own bands, including a recording session with Charlie Parker. He is notable for playing the electric tenor guitar, a four-stringed instrument. He died on March 4th from meningitis at the age of 72 and was absorbed. Meningitis sucks.
So does dying, apparently.
But that's the thing, not only are you like completely incapacitated, there's a strong chance you could pass away. And both my oldest kid and myself got it within a month of each other in 2003. Although mine was viral and his was bacterial.
Good times.
Good times indeed. Spent a month on the couch with the lights off. And as soon as it was over, I was starting to get really depressed, and it finally lifted, and I finally was feeling better. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's over. And then vertigo hit. I'm not even joking.
Nice.
I felt like Patrick. Anyway.
All right, moving on to movies. The number one movie in the land was Lean on Me, a biographical drama starring Morgan Freeman based on the true story of Joe Louis Clark, a real-life inner-city high school principal.
Have you guys seen that?
Call me Batman.
I saw it when it first came out.
I remember seeing it on VHS at some point. I think I rented it from the video store when I was working there. It was good. I mean,
I've seen it a few times. My favorite line is when he's on the roof with the little fat crackhead kid. You smoke crack, don't you? I love that line. I don't know why. Just great delivery. I don't want to die. You smoke crack, don't you?
Born on March 5th, Jake Matthew Lloyd, known also as Jake Broadbent, is an American former actor. He got his big break playing Jamie Langston in Jingle All the Way. Lloyd gained worldwide fame when he was chosen by George Lucas to play the young Anakin Skywalker in the 1999 film Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace, the first film in the Star Wars prequel trilogy. Lloyd received the Young Artist Award for Best Supporting Actor. In 2000, Lloyd starred in the dramas Die With Me and Madison and then retired from acting. He was one of the earliest, the voice actor for Jar Jar Binks was before him in terms of getting bullied out of the business by Star Wars fans. But he was one of the other really early people that happened to.
And he literally, he's had a bad time. He's got mental issues and shit because of all this bullying he undertook.
Which just sucks, man, because I my fandom is Doctor Who, and it's there, and for some a show that's all about inclusivity, the fandom is shit. But boy, Star Wars people, it's just like, why? What was the point of doing that? I mean,
for people that love something so much, they have a lot of hate towards it too. It's very weird.
Yeah,
nobody hates Star Wars as much as Star Wars fans.
Exactly. It drives me nuts.
True. And it's crazy because that is one of my primary fandoms, but I love everything Star Wars, and I think I direct my rage towards other Star Wars fans. It's look, you didn't much care for Return of the Jedi. You hate the prequels. You hate the sequels. You're not big on most of the shows. Tell you what, if you don't like 75% of what a thing is, you're not a fan of that thing.
Right, exactly. You just like some of it. You're not a real fan. Yeah, exactly.
It's okay to, have criticisms of things and to talk intelligently about something that, I'll admit there's some episodes of Doctor Who that aren't that great, but I still enjoy it for what it is, and it's more of the thing I love. So I mean,
But it's, I mean, I agree 100% with what Josh said. Like, if you don't like 75% of what the thing is, you don't like it. You just like parts of it.
I don't get it. And
or you
really,
just
Star
like to
Wars
bitch
is
about
bad.
it.
Possibly.
They just
I
like
mean,
bitching.
There are always going to be trolls, but
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Right,
I
so
mean, at least I feel like I hate a lot of stuff, but I feel like I have legitimate reasons for my hatred. I don't hate somebody just to hate it. I really don't. It's just most things suck.
Well, and you don't attack the people involved with making that thing.
No,
Or
I
seek it
try
out.
not to. Yeah.
Seek it out to comment on it on social media.
No, definitely not.
Usually you have some sort of comment as to why you don't like it, and sometimes obviously it's a bit more of a funny thing to say than a legitimate concern, but most of the time, there's something behind it.
Yeah, and I don't have like
Blunt.
vitriol like a lot of these people, It's just I don't wish ill on somebody because they made something I don't like.
Exactly. And that's the thing, I think, that where the line gets massively stepped over is when people are like, that person should die because they can't act very well. It's like, well, why? Why should a person
Right.
be dead?
I mean,
Okay.
We're weird about actors in general. Actors are the only artists that people never, a large number of people never recognize that an artist can get better at their craft with time. Like we saw this when the Batman was announced as like Robert Pattinson. It's like, okay, you didn't like him in Twilight. That was years ago and he's still an actor. Isn't it reasonable to say he's better at acting now?
Yeah, like I used to not like Leonardo DiCaprio. Now he's an amazing actor and I love him. And I don't think it's because like his other stuff I was undervaluing. He got better. Anyway.
TV?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think we got lost in the tweet here.
All right, so TV top shows in the land are Roseanne, The Cosby Show, Cheers, and A Different World.
Yep.
There you go. 89 for you.
Yep.
Other shows that debuted this week were Coach, Cops, Anything But Love, and the acronym of the week, HTOPE.
I know this one. It's Helping the Octopus Proctologist Examine.
That's oddly
topical. Yeah. Nice.
Procto.
Doc Ock. No, that is actually Hard Time on Planet Earth.
I don't know that.
I don't either.
Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Was that by Wigwam?
Andy Sidar's movie. No.
Oh.
No.
What? What? Is that Hard Time on Planet Earth theme music? What is that?
No, they both have the word hard in them, so he had to associate.
Oh,
yeah,
he ran down
the same
that hallway.
thing. Yeah, I ran down the hallway with a pair of scissors.
My head is stuck in an idea of an octoproctologist, octopus proctologist, because have you ever seen those videos where like the octopus crawls
can fit into any kind
small hole?
Oh Lord!
The octoprocto doesn't need a speculum.
Oh, doctor, I've need a hernia. I've got this pain down there. Oh, man. Doctor. Ooh.
Well, that beak is a little sharp, isn't it?
Thank you, Dr. Jelly Flipper.
He gets home from work. It's like, you're not kissing me until you take a shower. I know where you've been.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
On March 10th, the series finale of Webster had the eponymous character being transported to the USS Enterprise NCC 1701D from Star Trek The Next Generation with Michael Dorn guest starring as Lieutenant Worf.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly the order you're supposed to ask those questions.
That's a real thing that happened. That's how Webster ended.
As in like a
Canonical, yeah, like canonically, Webster is in Star Trek universe now. Because back then, people weren't really, concerned about like, mixing worlds and stuff. They were just like, it would be a cute ending, haha, yeah.
So it's not like he was going to like a Star Trek exhibit and they just had him interacting with Michael Dorn as Worf.
Like it was his, no, he went on the spaceship. It's kind of like it's up there with great endings of TV shows like St. Elsewhere,
right?
Or,
or Dexter.
Real, what the hell?
Yeah.
I looked up Webster finale, and it gave me the definition of finale in the Webster's dictionary.
That's funny.
Well, it's not wrong, you know. It's
There's a picture of Webster and Worf together.
Yep.
together
What
again.
the
The
hell?
pairing you've never asked for.
And it's in the Star Trek wiki page.
Like I said, it's canonical.
He's
Webster
a
is in.
Klingon. It's Webster and Worf today.
Thrust into the 24th century, Webster meets Klingon Lieutenant Worf in season 6, episode 25, which aired on March 10th, 1989. Wow. I
did not know
new.
that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I remember when it happened. People talking about it. It was definite water cooler talk.
When you dropped, kicked your jacket, when you came to the door, no one glared. But sometimes you're just a Klingon and no one cares.
Jesus Christ. You fucker. That's fucking good. All right, moving on to sports.
Sports.
On March 3rd, during training camp while the Mets were posing for a yearbook photo, Keith Hernandez and Darryl Strawberry nearly came to blows in front of reporters, cameras, and TV crews. While being held back by teammates, Strawberry told Hernandez, "I've been tired of you for years."
Well, that's a fun time.
Everybody get together, taking our photograph, and the next thing you know, two guys are just in the corner, strangling each other.
The photographer's like, "This is amazing."
But yeah, I mean, you could actually look it up on YouTube. It's, you know, a little scuffle that got caught by the cameras and everything. Yeah.
Nice.
Christopher Roger Wokes, born March 2nd, is an English cricketer who plays internationally for England in all formats. In domestic cricket, he represents Warwickshire. Wokes made his one-day international and 2020 international debuts in 2011 and Test debut in 2013. He was part of the England team that won the 2019 Cricket World Cup. As of April 2022, he is currently ranked as the number 2 ODI bowler in the world in the ICC Men's Player Rankings. Wokes plays as a right-handed all-rounder, bowling fast-medium.
What's an ODI bowler?
One-day international.
Okay. We looked it up, I think, at one point.
Yeah, and the bowler is the guy who pitches, you know, the thrower.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so just what ODIs are one-day international.
ODIs, yeah. I mean, because, you know, an ODI straight wicket wiggly tosser, it could be a phrase.
An ODI is the quote-unquote quick form of cricket.
A straight wiggly
only takes 2 days.
tosser.
No, it's literally a one-day event. That's why it's a one-day international.
Good God.
2 teams agree to play a one-day quick match.
Wow.
Or 2 nations or 2 whatevers, yeah.
It's craziness.
5 years later.
All right, well, that's the end of the tweet. Play us off, Keyboard Joel.
This game goes on for centuries. No.
All right. So, Rescue Rangers. March 4th, 89. Premiered on the Disney Channel with the episode Catteries Not Included. Introduced Fat Cat, right? That was the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
Yep. Continued into September with a 2-hour special, Rescue Rangers to the Rescue, which later got broken up into 5 parts to air as a weekday run. Final episode aired on November 19th, 1990, and actually got syndicated before that in 89. It was put in the Disney afternoon lineup that were on the channel that would eventually become Fox.
All true.
Yes, Disney afternoon. That was, I think it started out with DuckTales, Rescue Rangers.
Woo!
And was it?
It was eventually Tailspin and then Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck, but there was like a dozen different. Bonkers was in there. There was Gummy Bears.
Gummy Bears was before that,
but it got put into the Disney afternoon lineup.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say because like when it got launched, they were doing like an hour, and they would take 2 random of DuckTales, Tailspin, Rescue Rangers and Darkwing Duck every day
Yeah.
and flip them. And I actually took a look. Rescue Rangers and Tailspin had the same number of episodes. Darkwing Duck had more episodes. I want to say Tailspin and Rescue Rangers each had 65.
65.
It's like 91 for Darkwing and over 100 for DuckTales.
I will get into that in the trivia.
Oh, really?
There's a reason for that. Yeah. So this was created by Tad Stones, and the original concept for the series did not have Chip and Dale. They originally suggested it based on the Rescuers, which had
Down Under.
yeah, I like that one. Who were the voices? That was Zsa Zsa Gabor and Bob Newhart.
Tom Poston.
No, Bob, the voices of the Rescuers.
Yeah. He's being serious. Those were the two voices.
Oh, I thought he was wanting to name off of Newhart. So I was
No.
naming other Newhart people. Sorry.
No, Zsa Zsa Gabor and Bob Newhart. They were the voices of the two mice in the Rescuers. Jeffrey Katzenberger rejected it as Rescuers Down Under was beginning at the time. Came out in 1990. They then developed a pitch called Metro Mice, featuring a mouse character called Kit Colby as the main protagonist, and it would eventually turn into Gadget and Monterey Jack along with a chameleon. But Katzenberg and Michael Eisner wanted known Disney characters as the stars, and Michael Eisner suggested putting Chip and Dale in.
And
So
the
there you
rest,
go.
as they say, is history.
It is. So you have Tress MacNeille doing the voice of Chip, and then Corey Burton doing the voice of Dale. They went on. They were the voices for a long, long time. Let's see. Corey Burton also did the voice of Hugo Strange in Batman Arkham City. Did the voice of Moliere from Atlantis, The Lost Empire. A very underrated Disney movie, if I say so myself. And, of course, Tress MacNeille would go on to do Dot Warner. And
lots of Simpsons.
Lots
Yeah,
of
I was just
Simpsons,
about to say
lots
that
of
too.
Futurama. Yeah. So, yeah, she did the voice of Agnes Skinner, was the main one that she did. Jim Cummings did the voice of Monterey Jack for 63 episodes. And the ever-present Peter Cullen also did the voice of Monterey Jack. They swapped off.
I didn't realize that. Interesting. Okay.
So, some other voices that showed up in this show. Pat Carroll, who was Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Robert Ito. He was the Japanese scientist from Buckaroo Banzai.
I thought he was the judge in the O.J. Simpson trial.
That is also true. Judge
Ito.
That would have been funny. Topical for Rescue Rangers. Mel Blanc actually had an uncredited voice in there. Bernard Fox, who, if you remember from The Mummy, he was Captain Havelock, the guy who got sunk into the sand after they flew the plane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruth Buzzy and Kathleen Freeman, who played the nun from the Blues Brothers. And is also a voice actor. Yes. So yeah, a lot of great voices on this. Some trivia. It was the #1 rated syndicated cartoon for the 1990 season in America. And also, as Josh was saying before, like many cartoons of the 80s and 90s, the show was canceled following production of its 65th episode. Despite it being a success, the logic from the animation industry held that cartoons were only successful up to the point where they would be able to be packaged for syndication, and the minimum number of episodes for syndication is 65.
Huh.
Yep. They
Learning
eventually learned their
more.
lesson. You know, looks like Josh said, Darkwing Duck had more episodes, and DuckTales had tons more, but 65 was the magic number for syndication, because then they're like, oh, now it's syndicated. We just put it in there, just get money from syndication and go on to something new.
Wow. Missed opportunity for some things, maybe.
Yeah. The voices of Chip and Dale were sped up in each episode to give an authentic chipmunk voice to the duo, done by the voice actors speaking slowly in their character voices and then speeding up to chipmunk level in post.
It'd be hard to act if you're having to think about how you're, how fast you're saying something.
Well,
I'm really lost in this sentence by the phrase "authentic chipmunk voices."
Yeah.
You know how chipmunks talk when they're talking English.
Yeah,
Right?
you don't talk
There
to your
is no
chipmunks?
such thing as an authentic chipmunk voice.
That's because you're from Texas. You don't have.
You never heard the
Like,
Christmas song?
That's such a stupid thing. Like, just make them talk however you want. Just because they did it on that stupid fucking album doesn't mean you gotta make them. Okay,
I had a
spoiler.
conversation with the chipmunk this morning.
Shut up. That was a fox in disguise, and we both know it.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler. I absolutely detest the whole chipmunk voice thing. In my entire life, I have never once enjoyed that. I hated the chipmunk song. I hated the chipmunks. I hate Chip and Dale. I hate all of it. That whole high-pitched, whiny voice. Just I couldn't even get through a full episode trying to watch this show. I'm like, I can't do it.
How do you feel about the Chippendales, though?
Like the characters?
No, the Chippendales.
The dancers?
Yeah.
Obviously, their voices are a lot deeper, so I don't have as much of a problem.
How much will you give me to change Pat's voice to the chipmunk voice for the rest of the show?
Ooh.
But yeah, I mean, I find it just it's like how people have that problem with fingernails on a chalkboard. That's how it is to me. I can't stand it.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say you didn't get through very many episodes and
no, I didn't even get through one. I literally did. I couldn't do it. I was like, no, I can't. I can't do this. That's why I wanted to go watch the new one, because I'm like, I know they're not doing it in that movie, so I want to watch that one.
Here's the thing, though, and that maybe because I watched, I think, 6 episodes total, which we should probably ask if this is the first viewing for anybody. But before we do that, I noticed that the story was more about Gadget and Monterey than it was the Rangers, because at least in the 6 episodes I watched, which were like the first 3, and then I picked out the very last episode and 2 of the higher rated ones, they were hardly even the focus. Like, they didn't really say much or do much. It was more about the other characters, it seemed like.
Well, they said enough to make Pat go squirrely.
Well, I was watching the pilot. I was watching the pilot, which had obviously plenty of Chip and Dale in it. So
yeah,
that's why it just annoyed me. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Definitely not my first viewing. This was part of my watch. 1990, I was already out of high school, so this was just my finish work, sitting around and watching cartoons in the afternoon phase.
Yeah, this was my first watch for sure.
And I'm a fan. Have been for a long time. This was, while I probably watched more episodes of DuckTales, this was probably my favorite Disney afternoon show.
I'm more of a Darkwing Duck guy myself.
I would say that this might be my first viewing. I don't remember ever watching it before, and if I did, it was in passing. Because I
really
don't really.
That surprises me.
Why?
Because I don't know. It just seems like something you would watch.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Not this.
You're like, please.
That makes me sad. I mean, it's obvious, like you guys all know, that I'm a fan. Sarah and I were Monterey Jack and Gadget Hackwrench for Halloween. There's a Halloween party we don't go to all the time, but every year we go to it, we win the costume contest. And this was our first couple's costume that won the contest. And
it was a damn good costume.
Well, yeah, they're the characters that, like, we, especially when I was heavier, that we most physically resemble.
Well, and you do have a crippling cheese addiction, so
I do, yes.
Yeah.
And I had been growing my mustache out for a very long time. And it is one of like those months, the day before Halloween, all the way till it grew back, are pretty much since I was like 31, the only time I have not had a goatee. I shaved my goatee for the costume and grew out
And
my
it's
mustache.
a sweet costume. We're putting that in the show notes so you can see how awesome of a costume setup both him and
Yeah,
Steph
if you
have.
download it from anywhere, where you can see the show album art, you'll see the two of us.
Yeah. I mean, and Gadget, hugely popular character, currently has a Russian cult.
Yes, she was one of the first Disney characters to appear in Russia, and yeah, there's a cult that worships Gadget, which is fucking weird.
Yep, that's a thing. But I enjoy this one. This was a fun. I mean, I like the fact that they ran Chip and Dale both off Magnum PI and Indiana Jones. That was pretty cool. I like that. I like the Hawaiian shirt and
aesthetics.
pants. Yeah, that's a look for me.
He's not joking, folks.
Can't go out and solve mysteries like that. I've so discovered. You're like
the mystery
Officer,
of where your pants
rescue
are.
ranger.
You're a loony.
It's fun. I mean, I thought it was a fun show. I thought it was, the characters were very entertaining. You had the tropes going on where Monterey Jack always floated off after the cheese. Gadget was the, fixing stuff up, and it's just a fun watch. I mean, my girls watched it too. They enjoyed it. I mean, it's Chip and Dale. How can you not like them?
Well,
Cue Patrick.
It's not that I have a problem with them as characters. Literally my only problem with the entire production are those voices.
Okay. Now, Joel, what were you going to say?
I found it, and maybe it's because I'm not watching it with the nostalgic perspective of someone who enjoyed it as a much younger person, but I found it to be very formulaic, uninteresting, and just kind of bland. I don't get the appeal of it. I'm happy that people enjoy it, and I get that, I have that with some things too, a lot of things. But for me, I saw no value in it, even as an adult or as a kid. I mean, I guess as a kid, there's maybe some fun, but it just like one of the episodes I watched was it may have been the last episode actually, with Zsa Zsa Gabor and Carol Channing playing dogs that are, the one is trying to kill the other to take over their life to be a star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was kind of fun to hear Carol Channing and Zsa Zsa Gabor doing voices, but I don't know. I found myself trying to watch as many episodes as I could, and I'm like, well, maybe if I watch another one, it'll be better. And I'll grab one of the ones that's on the list as like some of the best episodes. And it was just like, well, this is the same as the other 3 episodes I've already watched. So I'm like, meh. So I wasn't looking forward to the movie. Let's put it that way.
Huh.
And I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. Yeah.
I'm trying not to.
You're wrong all the time.
I'm trying not to be Patrick.
Hey.
What?
No, I mean, but it is formulaic. I mean, it's not, there's no overarching plot for the whole thing. They find a mystery, they solve a mystery, the end. It's Scooby-Doo with chipmunks.
Yeah. And my whole thing on it is it's right there in that group of all those shows that all of you guys like that I don't necessarily like, Darkwing Duck and blah, 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 all those shows that all aired together. I never really watched any of them, so, they never really had any kind of hold on me. So I'm not apparently in the target audience.
Yeah, well, I think Mike watched cartoons, like he said, well into college, and I'm younger than you guys are.
Right.
I was still in elementary school when this first came out in 1989.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm class of 93, so's Joel.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
know, but it's just sometimes when you just put it into like perspective like that. It's like, oh, geez.
Yeah, I think my other thing on the cartoon watching is the fact that I have two younger siblings. One that's 5 years younger, and one that's 11 years younger than me. So, it's one of those. They're watching it. I'm not going to win the argument when this comes on. That's going to be on for the afternoon type of thing. And we only had one TV, so.
And we were all, maybe Patrick not as much as the rest of us, but we were watching cartoons in the dorms.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 I mean,
I was too busy having sex. So.
Well,
I mean, I was too. Just
it's kind of sad the fact that you had the only TV on the floor, so we're kind of sorry for being in there while that was going on. But
well, you guys needed something entertaining. It was Darkwing Duck, I mean, God.
Sure.
But who's having sex now?
That's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, the Disney Afternoon, that's when Gargoyles rolled out, was in the Disney Afternoon also.
That's another show I've never seen an episode of. Sorry, Jeff.
Well,
really?
That one's a little later too. That one's going to go deeper into the 90s. I missed it when it first premiered, but Sarah was huge into it, and I keep seeing things online about how great it is. So I recently watched it, and it's high quality. Lots of Star Trek Next Gen voice actors.
Yeah.
Before we move, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say it's one of the cartoons that. It had actually had death of characters in it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a big deal.
I wanted to make sure before we moved on to the break, we talked about one thing, and that's the theme song. While the DuckTales theme song it's more iconic. The Rescue Rangers theme song, I got a nostalgia hit every single time. I never skipped the intro. I think it holds up, but then again, I'm a fan, so I'm biased.
No, I think it holds up too. I think all the ones from the Disney Afternoon, except for stuff like Bonkers, I think were.
I don't even know Bonkers.
Yeah, you do. It was the cat that was a cop.
The cat that was a cop. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, you'll recognize it if you.
Well, and I think a reason he might not know that one, and I didn't know it very well, is because I don't think Bonkers ever made it off the Disney Channel.
Oh.
I've seen images of this cat, but I've never seen an episode of this.
And that's the thing, is the others made it to the Disney Afternoon on Fox, and I didn't have cable until we lived together in the apartment. So I never saw Bonkers either.
Yeah, I didn't have cable either.
While he came out in 93, the first time I had cable was 95.
Okay.
The neighbors had cable, but we just were usually trying to watch scrambled porn, so not much cartoons happening.
Let's see. I'm looking up the lineup off of DisneyFandom.com.
You watched porn with your neighbors?
Doesn't everybody?
Didn't you?
Not my neighbors. I didn't. You must have lived
in Texas, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, things that showed up in 90 to 91. The lineup was Gummy Bears, DuckTales, Rescue Rangers, and Tailspin.
Sounds right.
Then they dropped Gummy Bears and added Darkwing Duck. And then they added Goof Troop. And
that's one that people will fight you for, man.
Goof Troop?
The Goofy movie and that?
Yeah, I didn't realize the Goofy movie was such a huge thing.
Oh, yeah.
Those fans are rabid.
The other one, like my opinions about the Emperor's New Groove, like I keep quiet on the internet. I think it's a pile of fucking shit.
Yep, it's out there now. Damn.
It's out there now.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite Disney movie. I think it sucks, and I know, especially when it comes to like people who are 5 years younger than me, that's a very unpopular opinion.
Yeah,
I've never seen it, and I've never really had any desire to.
The Schnookums and Meat Funny Cartoon Show.
I remember here. I've seen that online, but I don't know if I actually seen it. I just know of it, kind of like that Bonkers thing.
Looks like Ren and Stimpy-ish. Then they had Gargoyles, Aladdin, Timon and Pumbaa, the cartoon, Quack Pack, and Mighty Ducks all showed up in there. So
Zipper showed up on Mighty Ducks, I know. Zipper a couple times. Like, he was a weird mid-season addition to the Rescue Rangers, just to get us back on Rescue Rangers. As like a friend of Monty's who joins the cast after like one of the confrontations with Fat Cat. And Zipper was one of their go-tos for Rescue Ranger obscure reference when they started doing that.
So
yeah, he made cameos in a lot of other things.
So this show or this group did not exist prior to or post this show, other than the movie that we're going to talk about after the break. Is that right? Like the Rescue Rangers?
Not like as they have their own show / movie. Like, I think they showed up in Kingdom Hearts, mostly as a pop culture reference until the movie came back out.
yeah.
Now, Gadget and Monterey Jack, were they? This was their introduction, or did they exist? Because I don't.
They were just Rescue Rangers.
Okay, because I was going to say I don't remember ever seeing them other than in this show or associated with the show, but I wasn't sure if it was like a super group, so to speak, like they were in something prior to this or post. And I don't remember the name of the bug.
Zipper. I literally just said it like 45 seconds ago.
You did actually, but yeah, I didn't realize that was his name. I just remember he's a bug, a fly, or something.
Apparently he is Fly, because we find out in the movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking. I was so happy because we'll get there. We'll get there.
I think right now we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a second and talk about Rescue Rangers 2022. Okay, we are back, and we are going to talk about the 2022 Rescue Rangers. 30 years after their popular television show ended, Chipmunks Chip and Dale live very different lives. When a cast member from the original series mysteriously disappears, the pair must reunite to save their friend. Kind of tropey, kind of...
Pretty succinct.
Yeah, but very, very, very tight on that one. This is directed by Akiva Schaffer. Akiva Schaffer.
Yeah,
who also did Hot Rod, a bunch of Lonely Island videos, and a bunch of Saturday Night Live stuff, shorts and things.
So one of Adam Sandler's buddies. Yeah.
Right.
It's literally This Lonely Island is...
Or not Sandler, Sandberg. Andy Sandberg, not Adam.
Yeah, because This Lonely Island is the core of this film. All three of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So Dan Gregor was written by him and Doug Mand, and the two of them both did How I Met Your Mother and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, but Doug Mand wrote Doolittle that we did not too long ago as a show.
The Robert Downey one?
Yeah.
None of us liked that.
No.
He still did it, though.
He's still something he did.
They didn't consult us.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't like it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, good point. All right.
Yeah. So, but this stars John Mulaney as Chip, the optimistic co-founder of the Rescue Rangers, and also Tress MacNeille briefly provides the voice for Chipmunk's authentic chipmunk voice.
Shut your mouth.
And then
I was convinced.
Yeah. Sounded like all the chipmunks around here. Mason Blomberg did Young Chip. Andy Samberg was Dale, who had the photorealistic computer animation instead of cel shaded because he got plastic surgery. And then Corey Burton also does the voice of the chipmunk voice. And Juliet Donfield does Young Dale. Will Arnett shows up as Sweet Pete. Eric Bana as Monterey Jack. Keegan Michael Key as Bjornson the Cheesemonger. And Seth Rogen as Bob the Viking. J.K. Simmons as Captain Putty. Kiki Lane as Ellie Steckler, the LAPD cop. Tim Robinson as Ugly Sonic, which had a
We'll
lot
get
more
to
to do
that.
with this movie than I expected. Flula Borg as DJ Hergerjnagajak, the Snake, who is a DJ fan of Chip and Dale. Dennis Haysbert as Zipper the Housefly. He's the insurance guy.
Yeah, he's also Serrano from Major League.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tress McNeil as Gadget Hackwrench. Devon McDonald as Jimmy the Polar Bear. And Chris Parnell as Dale's agent, Dave Molinari.
Keegan also had a secondary role. He
Uh,
was the frog cop, the frog coworker at the insurance agency.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Coming up
whenever they
bad.
want to show somebody's life has gone down into the pits and it's terrible, they're always working insurance. Well, Mr. Incredible,
Mm-hmm.
life sucks. I'm selling insurance. So early in the film, Dale stars in his own show titled Double O Dale. In the early 90s, Disney was actually developing a show called Double O Duck. It was scrapped when it was discovered that the title Double O is owned by Ian Fleming of the James Bond novels, and Double O Duck was reworked and became Darkwing Duck. So that's cool. You watch the signs in the background shows that Dobby the house elf became a model for Gucci after Harry Potter wrapped.
I missed that.
Oh yeah, it's kind of blurry, but Sarah and I noticed it right away.
There's so much in the background.
Yeah, that's one of them I just happened to miss.
And then also when raiding Sweet Pete's bootlegging facility, Captain Putty readies the battering rams. The rams shown resemble the mascot logo of the LA Rams NFL team. One of the co-workers and vice chairman of the football team is also a filmmaker that resides in Los Angeles and is named Dale Chip Rosenblum.
That's funny.
So I don't know if those are actually all connected, but it's kind of neat that they're all there.
It's funny.
So yeah.
I
Obviously,
mean, I like it. I enjoyed the joke alone, just to get the battering rams and two rams ran the door down. That was funny enough.
Yeah.
But to know there was an even funnier layer, or an even deeper layer, I guess.
Well, there was so much packed into this.
So many references.
Yeah, see, I okay, yeah, obviously, like we said, first references for first watch for everybody. I just wanted to say this real quick. As soon as this hit, it started blowing up on Reddit. Like people were making threads, like talking about, oh, this reference, oh, that reference, and putting little 5-second clips up. Oh, this is reference, and I'm just sitting there going, oh my god, I'm gonna watch this, and it's gonna be just another version of like Ready Player One, where all they're doing is just puking up pop culture references and everything. I was so afraid of that walking into this movie.
What?
That was my mindset going in.
When you see the trailer, that's a reasonable fear. Like when I first saw the trailer, a lot of people immediately started shitting on this movie without having seen it. And I was like, okay, there's two ways this could go. This could be a total tire fire. Or this could be awesome. And I'm going to wait to see. And it's interesting that you compare it to Ready Player One, because Sarah did the same thing while we were watching it. And I think the key difference between this and Ready Player One is Ready Player One and even Space Jam that we saw not so long ago were just like reference. This is content. Where every reference here either was a visual gag or served to advance characterization or plot in some way.
And also didn't take itself seriously as a reference. That was one of the big problems in Ready Player One. It wasn't just nostalgia. It was like so serious about its nostalgia. Like, if you don't nostalgia like I nostalgia, then you suck, was the vibe from Ready Player One. And this was just tongue in cheek, a lot of fun, well written. Spoiler, but yeah. So I think this was what Ready Player One kind of wanted to be, as far as like making all the pop culture references without just being a regurgitation of pop culture.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Josh. Is the short version of what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, they all the references, I think, there were some that were in your face,
for sure, yeah.
Ugly Sonic, but there was enough of them in the background that are subtly done that, like, what was the?
Well, okay, your example right there, though, of Ugly Sonic. Ugly Sonic was not just like a throwaway in-your-face reference. He actually turned out to be an important character.
He was an integral part of the plot.
Yeah,
So he deserves some screen time.
No, and I agree with that. I mean, it's some of them, but I mean, some of them like were every now and then you had a little truck of like, hey, there's a reference type of thing, but there was so much stuff packed into the background of things that you could literally watch this movie 3 times and catch a new thing
Right,
going
and
on in the background every single
that's
time.
kind of one of the things I liked about it, because it wasn't just going, hey, point, look at this reference.
Yeah,
They were just making them. It was just happening, you know?
It was just
Yeah,
in the background. If you catch it, you catch it. If you don't,
Well,
Right.
and
there
it
you
was
go.
organic because it had. I mean, you had the different movies that were popping up in there, like Waze the movie. Did you see the sign for that
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
Or where they get spit out of the sewer, and in the background it's a billboard for Lego Miserables.
Yeah.
There's
you know,
even subtle stuff like the box of fireworks that are in the garage. Say Disney parade fireworks for the nightly parade in the park,
Oh, cool. Now,
which actually comes into play later.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to get a little bit on my like animation thing here.
Do it.
I did not like the animation in this for Chip.
The 2D.
The 2D was like pseudo 3D cell shading, and I really think they should have gone with classic. Like I don't want to say hand drawn, but at least digitally drawn. This looked like they had outlined the characters and colored them in with crayons. I did not like the 2D animation in this one.
I will agree with you in terms of the specific characters that were from Rescue Rangers. However, the characters like Lumiere was well done. You know,
Yeah, Lumiere, My Little Ponies running around. Those were all animated really well. I just think that the Rescue
Polar
Rangers
Bear was
themselves. Yeah, the polar bear, the Coca-Cola bear was.
but he was
cool.
he was CGI.
Yeah,
Well,
but
and I kind of think that may have been an artistic choice to make the difference in animation style more stark between the 3D and the old school. Like, I get that you didn't like it, but I don't think it was a lack of skill. I think it was an artistic choice.
yeah, I agree with you. I'm sure they had the skill. I mean, you can, like Joel said, you could see that in the other 2D art. But I just think I was expecting it to be the Rescue Rangers as they were drawn in the 90s. You know, it just seemed a little too chunky.
Well, and I think that's what they were trying to go for, was trying to make it look like they had pulled the original animation cells, and that's why it looked kind of less than like Lumiere, just to cite the example. Because you know, in Beauty and the Beast, it's one of the selling points is it's very beautifully animated. But for a cartoon like this, where they're knocking out 30, 40 episodes a season, they got to be quick and dirty, and so it's going to be a little bit more like a McDonald's hamburger instead of a filet mignon.
And the stuff you can see on Disney Plus now is a remaster. Like, I don't know. I think that they're trying to go for the way it looked originally on pre-digital broadcasting.
That's how I felt too. That's what I was thinking maybe was the case. However, I don't know if we're calling spoilers since this is like just less than a week old, but the main bad guy, I did not like the animation on that. I get what they were going for, but it didn't work for me.
Before we go on, I just want to toss out a couple calls. One to Jeff Bennett for doing the voice of Lumiere.
Mm-hmm.
He spot on for his voice. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, R.I.P. Jerry Orbach.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here Patrick, do you know who did the voice of Baloo?
No, I don't. I didn't even think. Yeah, I didn't even.
Because in the live action, it was Bill Murray. Remember that? But this was not Bill Murray. This was Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Right? I thought that was such a weird choice.
Huh.
I know. That's not the name I was all expecting.
That's why I didn't even register it. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too, Mike, and I was like, "Wait, what? Was Michael W. Smith in here too?" And who else we got? Amy Grant.
Yeah, and it was weird. But Alan Oppenheimer did the
Carroll
voice
and
of
Farrell
He-Man
on the soundtrack.
Yeah, Alan Oppenheimer did He-Man and Skeletor together, and they brought back Charles Fleischer for Roger Rabbit.
Oh, they really did. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I think, speaking of voices, one of the moments that I really enjoyed, I won't say my favorite, but was when all of Seth Rogen's characters were all there at the
giggling at
same
each other.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I thought that was funny, clever.
Now, and Josh, you were talking, or Joel was talking about old Peter Pan, Sweet Pete. That I thought was kind of rough, considering what happened to Peter Pan.
Right.
Yeah, well, and I think they take the world that you're presented in something like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it's like, okay, let's take this to its logical conclusion with what happens with actors in Hollywood.
Like what happens if you extrapolate the world of Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, and do the same thing that happens to child actors, and what would that look like? And I thought that what their choice, that bit was not spoiled for me. And when I found out who Sweet Pete was, I was impressed with their decision, and it totally worked for me.
Yeah, same.
I had, when they started using Sweet Pete, I actually have Sweet Pete from Goofy as my guess of who the villain is.
Oh,
because I figured it was Pete. Pete's always the villain.
Yep.
But
I was actually wondering if it was going to be Pete from Pete's Dragon.
Pete Rose.
Oh, Pete from Pete's Dragon.
No, Pete, the little blonde kid from Pete's Dragon, and his mob enforcer guy would be the dragon. That's what I was kind of expecting.
Yeah. So we get into this.
We get the Uncanny Valley.
Instead, we got the polar bear and the uncanny. Yeah, I really enjoyed that joke, that Uncanny Valley joke.
Mm-hmm.
Again, lots going on when they first walk into there, or even before that, when they're in the village where everything looks all sweet and innocent. There's so many characters that they're throwing in there, left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you notice Chun-Li had a star on the Walk of Fame.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I didn't see that.
And so, you've got the claymation style, you've got Muppets all living in this world, and I am glad to see someone that takes Muppets with a dark side and doesn't immediately make it gross. Because I know Joel's a fan of Meet the Feebles. I hated Meet the Feebles because I thought it was
juvenile
and mean-spirited.
Agreed. I mean, it was, yeah.
And acknowledging that, like, if you've got like different social classes and people who make decisions in Hollywood, like, there are going to be Muppets that have drug problems or Muppet fights, underground Muppet fights.
Right.
I honestly would pay to see that.
But you can have that be a gag that shows up twice in this, with it going a little dark, but without it being gross. Stomach twisting. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's a good, it's a good time to use tell don't show instead of the other way around,
Mm-hmm.
Incidentally, it was kind of weird seeing both Rick and Morty referenced a lot and South Park.
Yeah.
Felt
right.
A little out of place, but...
Randy Marsh being in jail was pretty funny.
That was, and
or not in jail, in the sauna.
In the sauna, yeah. No, I enjoyed this more than I expected to. I tried to stay away from all spoilers. Tried to stay away. I mean, I didn't even really watch outside of like the sneak peek trailer. I didn't really watch anything on this one, and I was surprised. Like I said, the Peter Pan thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, anybody out there, look up what happened to the voice actor for Peter Pan, and that's why I'm talking about that got a little dark. His life did not turn out well after that, and it kind of parallels what they're talking about in this one, that he wasn't the little kid anymore.
Kind of the same thing that happened to Jake Lloyd from the Twee,
Yeah. But there were enough twists. J.K. Simmons was fantastic as the Sarge.
Right.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons, I think, can do no wrong at this point. He's just awesome and everything.
He has entered the golden part of his career where he's just going to start being the Morgan Freeman type.
I think
turning out awesome role after awesome
Bill
role.
Murray.
Yeah, maybe you might be right
doing
about
whatever
that.
the hell he wants.
Yeah,
but
and knocking it out of the park every time.
I liked the character development of the Chipmunks.
Well, the twist with Gadget and Zipper.
Oh yeah, there were a couple of voices. J.K. Simmons was, of course, like you recognize him as soon as he speaks, and Zipper with Dennis Haysbert was the other one for me, and it made me so happy because it was such a different, like a subversion of what you would think of for both, like who did Gadget end up with, and what did Zipper, if he was played by an actor, what would he sound like?
Yeah, what does Zipper's real voice sound like? Not the characters. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But all in all, I was pleasantly pleased with this whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wasn't crazy excited going into it, but I was definitely I enjoyed it. Go ahead, Joel. Sorry.
I was just gonna say the kind of the same thing that after watching the cartoon, I was like, it's like I'm gonna wait and watch this, today. So it's fresh in my mind, and I was kind of like, man, I don't know if it's gonna be any good, but I kept seeing people post about it, primarily people that are younger than myself, that are middle 30s or early 30s, that it was in their wheelhouse, and so I was like, they're maybe just fanboys of it because they grew up with it. I was as soon as I was 15, 20 minutes into it, I was like, holy crap, I got to have the rest of the family watch this. So I'm probably going to end up watching it again with Laura and the kids, because I'm like, there's enough in here that they're all going to appreciate something.
And you're gonna get to catch a lot of stuff you missed the first time.
Exactly, because I'm watching it while I'm doing other stuff, so I'm not paying 100% attention. But I found myself stopping what I was doing and paying attention, because I was like, oh shit, I don't want to miss anything else, because there it is. It's like you're sitting down at a buffet, and it's a good buffet, not a bad buffet.
But yeah, it's not horribly surprising considering the level of comedy and chops involved in this movie that it turned out to be good. I'm glad it was enjoyable and I didn't have to suffer through something that I was kind of worried about.
Oh
Yeah, this had that's the thing. That's why I stayed away from the trailers. Is it had so much potential to just be a heaping pile of Ready Player One.
Right?
I agree.
But it seems like they let them write and perform and do everything that they wanted to do, and like a bunch of corporate know-nothings didn't interfere too much.
It very easily could have been a cash grab, and it wasn't. And there was one line in there that made me think of you guys, and I don't know if you guys remember it, but when I think it was the mom was talking to, or somebody was talking to one of the either Chip or Dale, and they're like, "You're not Donald Duck. Put some pants on." Or no, that was when the kids were coming into school.
Yeah, at the very beginning of this, coming to school, exactly.
Like, you're not Donald Duck. Put some pants on. And I was like, he's Donald Duck in it. And can we talk about Post Malone in the theme song?
It was pretty good.
It was clever.
Yeah. I mean, of course he would do it. I mean, he did the cover of, didn't he do
Did Sunflower?
No. He did a cover of the Pokemon theme song, didn't he?
He did.
He did?
He did.
Yeah, pretty well received as well.
Oh. All right. Fair enough. Weird.
No,
seems like Post Malone can do no wrong.
Well,
he's the next J.K. Simmons. No. Yeah, this I was very pleased with the way this turned out. I don't know if they could pull a second one out of this. This seems like it's a one shot, and I kind of hope they keep it that way.
I kind of hope that if the guys from This Lonely Island are the people I think they are, and I know Andy Samberg is definitely in our kind of mindset. He's a fanboy. That with the way the movie ended, I'm wondering if they would maybe do a different property like Darkwing Duck, for example.
Well, that would be great if they brought Darkwing Duck back. But no, I get worried when they redo something and it shows up and really does a great job. Now they're gonna milk it instead of doing something new.
Something is coming again from these guys. Yeah, for sure. One thing or another.
And I think they've earned our trust with this, where it could have been a cash grab, and it wasn't. So right. I'm willing to, like, if they're saying that they're going to do another one just like this, I'm still on board until it turns out to be bad. Because, I mean, they did some serious work to get some of these cameos. Like, a lot of these things are not Disney properties. Dobby's not a Disney property. the Ugly Sonic was a black eye to the studio that made it. And the fact that they got that reference in the first place took them a lot of work.
And yeah, to get them to even sign off on letting them do that would probably took some work too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's articles about it, and I was pretty impressed with what they did with the character, like acknowledging it's like he's part of pop culture because he was bad.
Yeah, and it's I wonder out at that table where they're having that conversation where, I don't know if it's Andy Samberg or if it's Dan Greger or whoever it is that's at that conversation going, no, seriously, trust us, lean into this.
Right. This will help you.
Yeah. We know it was terrible. We know it was awful. Lean into it and people are going to love it. If you acknowledge the horrible thing or if you acknowledge the goofs and mistakes, it seems nowadays that's more genuine than, pulling a Streisand effect and trying to get nobody to look at it,
This is a secret tool that'll help us later.
I told you I was working with the FBI.
Yeah. And the scene where they've like zoomed in on his mouth and they're you just seeing those human teeth as he's moving his lips.
And then later on,
Ugly Sonic goes slow.
or when he was in the helicopter, he's like, "Oh, bit my lip. Damn these teeth."
Did you notice that when Sweet Pete got turned into his final form that he had Woody's leg?
Yeah.
From Toy Story. That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, Woody's leg had a transformer. Was the other leg.
Yeah, he looked less realistic and more like a video game character.
And his voice changed. He turned into one of these. I don't know. I can't do the voice, but he did like a Tigger voice. It was like Tigger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't pick that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have the Sweet Pete voice anymore.
I think he had a voice of one of his component parts, but I'd have to watch it again because each of his component parts was a specific reference.
Right.
And I'm trying to find a picture of him.
Oh.
Well, the cat looks like the cat from
Puss in Boots is what it looked like to me.
Puss in Boots? No.
No,
yeah, from Shrek.
No.
Oh, definitely not.
Not.
No, what was it? I don't know. I mean,
the head looks like the cat from Cattery's Not Included.
Oh, the one the little girl was missing? You might be right about that.
I mean, there are a lot of deep cut references, so that would not surprise me.
Right.
And then, of course, Woody, and then the Transformer leg also.
Yeah.
And then when he shot the ball out at the end or whatever, it almost looked like it wasn't from Mario Brothers, but it reminded me of like the...
Yeah, my nose.
And,
so what do you think?
Oh, Patrick, the Terminator 2 reference.
Yep.
When he slid under the door and then she used the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Variation on the boom, 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 boom theme. They twisted it just enough that it wasn't, maybe copyrighted. I don't know. It was similar, very similar.
But yeah, there was when she first picked that fire extinguisher up, I knew how that was going to end. But yeah, it was still a good homage.
So what do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I think it's probably time to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready if you guys are. Excuse me.
So the originals. I'm thinking I'm thumbs up.
I am also pretty obviously thumbs up.
It's a rare occasion, but that's a thumb down for me.
Wow.
And a clear thumbs down from me. Yeah.
Or a clear split.
That's disappointing.
I mean, I'm not surprised about Patrick. He doesn't like things.
He likes some things.
Things that suck. Yes, I don't like those things. I mean, it's
That's
honestly
true.
the whole thing is all about those voices. It really is. Like
Wow.
if somebody had and I'm not saying find one because I don't really care enough to watch it, but like if there was a dub out there of like somebody doing those normal voices for them, I'd probably actually it probably wouldn't be a thumbs down. It'd probably be like a unenthusiastic thumbs up. But
And it was like Isaac Hayes and Michael Clark Duncan doing the voices or something.
it doesn't have to go that far, no.
No.
But yeah, you get my point. So it's all about the voice.
Then for the now,
I
thumbs up?
I have to go thumbs up. Yeah,
Thumbs
I
up.
enjoyed it.
I'm an extremely enthusiastic thumbs up. I had high hopes, and they were exceeded.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
It's good to see a reboot remake that doesn't pander to
Right.
remember this.
I will 100% watch this a second time and possibly a third just to see if there's anything else I miss. Once I watch it with the family, I may or may not watch it a third time.
This was well done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
so there you
impressed.
go.
All right. So if you have your thoughts on Rescue Rangers, you have your own memories, or you just want to dogpile me for slagging off the Emperor's New Groove, you can let us know by giving us a call at 708-NOW-RAP. That's 708-669-9727.
Yep. And if you're looking for a back catalog of shows, you can find them under favorite podcast apps such as Podbean or Pandora. If you enjoy the show, we'd love to hear about us. You can leave us a review on Apple, Google, or Amazon podcasts and support the show through the Ko-fi link in the show notes. Help us keep those internet costs at bay. So, Joel, what do we have coming up?
Well, we're going to be talking about the War of the Worlds. I don't know what voice that's supposed to be. I think it's Woody Allen, but I'm not sure.
Woody Allen doing Katharine Hepburn.
Carroll Channing.
Ooh, I don't want to see that. Yeah, we're going to be talking about War of the Worlds, the original versus the Tom Cruise joint. House Party Jam Jam, Day the Earth Stood Still, and lots and lots more to come.
Yeah, lots of stuff on the lineup, lots of more movies and shows. Definitely give us a call at that number that Josh talked about if you have other ideas. And we will be back next week. Thanks for listening.
I mean, if that's the legacy you want to leave and you're good with that, hey, that's cool. That's cool. That's fine. That's fine. We can change it. Change it for baby. Change it for baby. Put baby in the corner and then change it for her.
It's all right. I learned giving up from you.
Oh. I feel like I just got punched in the
Oh my God.